Hello and welcome to Balsamic Moon Games presents Children of Midnight, Nightsky, Sanctum. Thank you all for joining us, and we're going to start by introducing everybody. We'll start it with Azalwyn.
If I can get my mic to unmute. I am Azalwyn. I'm an artist and a character here, and you can find me pretty much anywhere at Azalwyn. And I play a satyr who is an arcanist, so we get to be all crafty and fun.
And we'll go to Lilith.
Hi, screen name is Lilith. I play Seth, a Nereid shapeshifter, so they're a fish person. And they try to solve basically every problem by just transforming it away. Master of disguise, self-proclaimed.
I think we'd all proclaim that at this point. Morningstar?
Hello, darlings. I am Morningstar, and I play Elise, our Median Psyche, who just likes to drink and smoke while everyone else does the heavy lifting.
Go around to Anya.
My name is Anya. I am playing Hollis. She is a Gob Baba who is very fascinated with being possessed.
And Josh?
Hey, my name is Josh. I play Jason. He is a human, a human animist. He has a dog familiar. He's also like, at least just trying to chill, trying to gain the knowledge. Have fun.
All right. And where we last left off, everyone had completed an undertaking and gone back for some much-needed rest and downtime. I think our last undertaking was in Central Park?
Yes.
Yes, we robbed the Fae.
That's right. Getting back in contact with Jack Spiderstripe and his ilk. And the group inadvertently created strife between Jack and his Redcap guardsmen, and now the Redcaps have left Central Park to invade the rest of Manhattan. So they're causing all kind of havoc at this point. But if I remember right, you all got away with quite a haul of loot from that session.
We're absolutely loaded now.
And that is currently being stashed in your vault, if I remember right. Okay, good. Just making sure, so I'm caught up, so I know what the stakes are. If you were all to be caught unawares. Let's see. We did some downtime, but Azalwyn, you had an idea for a downtime action that you wanted to take.
Yeah, I think especially after last session, I think we need like a honing device, something to really help us locate some things faster, and maybe find like more powerful objects faster.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it'd be fun to either like craft a wand or like a staff that would help us find something.
Sure. Do you want to use a Fey fruit to take an extra downtime action, or do you want to just steal one from your future self?
I think since I haven't used any Fey fruits, I mean that I don't think that would be too horrible to go ahead and just use one to get that done.
Yeah, sounds good. So you just need to pick the resonance of an item that you want to use to make the magical item, and this will be a not single use but a charm, so it doesn't last forever, but you can get some pretty good information with it. Excuse me. You can get some pretty good information with it quickly.
Okay.
So an item's resonance that matches what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So even a tree, I think the right kind of tree branch Anya, do you know offhand what kind of tree branch might work as a dowsing rod?
As a dowsing
Isn't
rod?
willow the most common?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a possibility, or anything else you have an idea for?
Yeah, I think I've heard Willow the most, or I can go with my namesake Yarrow.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you've got instant resonance with that. So yeah, that sounds great. If that's what you're interested in, so you'll make a crafting roll,
Okay.
and we're not going to have our dice up on the screen this time. We're testing out some new things, and I've realized we also don't have character names up on screen, so I'll be getting that during our break. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll that and just let everyone know what your results are.
All right.
Oh,
Question
beautiful
before we
faces.
do that, is there any way we can incorporate the Pentacle of Solomon that we have in with that?
We can't hear you.
Your audio.
Would that just give an extra die then?
It would be an extra component, correct?
Yeah, I'm thinking it'd be similar to how you used the key before.
Just gonna
I'm
amplify it
thinking.
for like one search or something.
I was thinking as like a fey bargain that the pentacle becomes tied to it, like physically connected to it, and so whoever's holding one is necessarily holding the other, and that could be problematic because it's the whole covens, but Seth had been carrying it the most. So potential for it to get lost at some point because it's being displayed.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I think that would give you an extra die as a fey bargain. And that would just cost you a fey bargain tick.
Okay. Which I don't know if I'll use it then because I with the last wild magic thing, my fey bargain's it's getting a little close. I think I have 3 ticks left.
Gotcha.
Proverbial fey rent is due.
Almost.
When that fills up, between sessions, we make a secret die roll and determine if the Fae come to collect on the contract. But there are a number of things, and a lot of the results are positive. So it's not something to be terribly worried about. Anya has a Fae contract that has come up.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead then. So that's a lot of dice then.
Yeah.
So I think total that's 1, 2, 5.
So that's 1 from the Fae bargain, 3 from your character sheet.
Yeah, and then oh yeah, we decided not to use the Solomon key or the Solomon.
The Fae bargain is makes use of that.
So then that would be 4.
Yeah, but that's fantastic.
Yeah,
really that's a lot. All right, and that's just a regular action roll, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm like gotta double check every time. Which is a partial success out of 5.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be a 6 clock for the dowsing rod. And you can determine how you want to use that throughout the session.
Perfect.
So, any ideas about where you'd like to go since you have some sort of leisure time before you pick up the next undertaking? I should get some Jeopardy music.
Yeah, not the top of my head at the moment. Let's see. I wasn't thinking about this.
Well, so some places you all have gone before in previous undertakings. There was that. Well, let's see. There's the Museum of Modern Artifacts, where you took on your first undertaking, and that's where you got the Pinnacle of Solomon. And they had a lot more there for the taking, but you guys were trying to do an in and out job, trying to find a very specific item, which you did. You've also been to, let's see, Central Park a number of times, but not for really any of the sites. Let's see. You could go on a tour of some of the places that you've interacted with before and gather information from them to sort of see if anything's changed.
Well, off the top of my head, the museum sounds the most interesting because it seems like that would be worth a revisit. There might be something nice and powerful there that would give us a leg up later.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with your new toy.
Yeah, and especially if there's a certain zoo encounter coming up. So yeah, I mean, I personally, that sounds interesting to me, but I also don't want to be the ones like, oh, let's all go, because you know how reckless I can be.
Even without trauma.
Well, if Tina has her job back, we could be checking in on her as well while we're at the
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Checking in on her, making sure that she's doing as I tell her to.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me just give you a 1 die fortune roll, Morningstar, that you can make to see in what way she sort of might have checked in the past and what kind of information you've got from her, because that could make a museum visit a lot easier.
The bad result.
Okay. So let's say she hasn't checked in. Not that it's particularly easy for her to do. I'm trying to remember, did we pin her down with a particular grimoire?
I believe we did, but I can't
That's
recall what it
right.
is.
Empath or psyche, something in that nature. Because
It might
she
have
had,
been empath.
mental effect on Seth before.
Yeah.
She caused mental trauma.
that's right. She had a really strong mental effect on Seth. So, yeah, let's go with empath. So, it does seem a little odd that she hasn't contacted you because with her, the types of powers she has, you would think that she would have an easy time getting hold of you.
Yeah, it does seem like it's a good time to beat her into submission again. Mentally, of course.
Yeah, and I haven't met her yet, so.
Ah.
Everyone asks, where are the children performing this week?
Newsies.
That would be.
Yeah, they always do newsies.
That would be a very interesting leisure time activity.
Yes, we could go to Broadway. At the
Mhm.
very least, we could panhandle.
Yeah. That
Yeah, and
sounds
while we're
interesting.
roaming around, we can see what the red caps have gotten into.
See if they have all their union paperwork in order yet.
Any petitions around town on the light poles.
Yeah. All right. What do you all think you should do first? And what time of day or night do you want to do these things?
New York, darling. You want to do everything at night.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Than being on the ship.
Yeah, you sure you have your land legs?
Yeah, you know.
But it might be fun to go to Broadway.
Hmm.
Just see what it's like.
Field trip, magic field trip. I dig it.
Yes.
I've got to see these crazy kids' ears and how they perform.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a field trip to Broadway, and so you all take your boat from your Covenstead, not the cruise liner, your river ship, the smaller craft, and you take it down the East River and dock in a residential neighborhood that has been relatively friendly to you on the south side that lets you dock there. And keeps your boat safe. And you make your ways through some back alleys until you get out into the major area, and there are literally thousands of people on the street, even though it's 10 p.m. Going from shop to shop. You see a couple of witches fly over your head on broomsticks and just zoom off into the distance. They're wearing red and black. And then you see, it's just a massive melting pot here. Witches and sapes intermingling. Every street just jammed full of people. So what would you like?
I apologize. What were you gonna say?
I was just asking. So what would you like to do now that you're here?
I was just wondering, if we are going to see children perform, I have to know
Bring the children, darling.
what are all of our Broadway get-ups? Like, are we gonna dress fancy?
I'm always just fancy.
That's
think-
true.
Yarrow's idea of fancy is just a silk cloak instead of a regular cotton cloak.
Nice.
Hollis is just hiding under Elise's dress.
Floor length red satin with matching upper length gloves. And
You're
a
you
lavish strand
understood the
belt.
assignment.
Oh, and of course, furs over the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Fox, likely.
How about Seth?
Chinchilla, why not?
Is Seth trying to blend in any way?
Yeah, Seth's got tail coats like a fishtail.
Oh. And Hollis?
I assume it's probably black, whatever it is. It's probably not super, super nice, but it's nicer than her everyday wear.
Awesome.
My wear would probably just be like, because he was in that ship colony for a long time, you don't really wear anything super fancy. So he's probably just got like a nice looking sweater, some black jeans, and just like some fancier looking shoes.
Oh, something I just was thinking of, since you've probably had to deal with, your own clothes for a large part, and you do have the mending ability, you could be like grafting interesting things that you find onto your gear.
Yeah. It's only burdened by the absolute lack of fashion
That
that I and the character have.
You're building a repertoire.
Yeah.
I get a feeling that the main rift between Joshua and Elise will not be moral, but sartorial.
All right. So, do we want to see how well the kids perform? Are they gonna try a panhandling routine?
Yeah.
Something
It'll be
that
fun.
they're practicing.
Yeah, let's see what all these little guys can do. I've heard so much about them and I've seen them practicing, so
I have no idea what we stand to gain from this, but
I mean, they can bust go down the street, pick some pockets.
they deserve to get out every once in a while.
we're going to have to pick the pockets, darling. Kids will be occupied.
You've come across a number of shops on your way out here, including a candy shop that the kids seem pretty interested in.
If we do a good job, we can get them candy. Real candy, not zombie fish.
Is there any way I can do a survey to just maybe see if like the red caps are about and all, and kind of see if they've kind of started anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're on my mind a little bit. 'Cause I feel only slightly guilty about that.
Certainly.
I am checking my points on survey. Let's see, I have 1, so I guess I would just be 1. Would that be gather or no, that wouldn't be gather information, that's just action. Okay. Partial success out of 5.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, you find evidence of red caps. You see on some of the stone buildings around a foot to a foot and a half up the side of the building, you see these scratch marks that indicate that red caps have marked the area that weren't here until recently. Any other questions? So you get 2 answers.
So they're out and about. Let's see, is there any... Yeah, I guess I can do my Grimoire sense then to see if there's any resonance in this place from them or anything.
Gotcha. We can just take that as part of the other success. So, yeah, it's not... Fey magic and Fey comings and goings don't quite register the same way as witches' magic, so yeah, not a whole lot of information there. But it is clear that it's territorial markings.
Okay,
And
I didn't have any traps hidden anywhere, just ready for us.
that might take a little bit more a different kind of action to find out, but I would say for territorial markings, they seem a bit thin, as in they might be marking a lot more territory than they could feasibly handle. So.
Well, that sounds like the little scamps. They're not used to being out on their own yet, I guess.
Biting off more than they can chew.
Yeah.
Well, I feel a little bit more confident about just going to see the show. It doesn't seem like they would just like interrupt us on our way or anything.
No.
Get the red caps are our greatest concern anyhow.
Yeah. As far as you're aware, they have no reason to suspect that you had anything to do with their falling out with Jack, so.
Well, that's good at least.
And they are small enough that if you slap them hard, they just fly into the nearest wall.
That just might be fun.
Hardly the greatest threat after us. And they're not even after us.
Mostly is curiosity's sake. Like, what are those little guys?
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Yeah,
something
they look
that's kind of unprecedented.
Yeah, they look kind of similar to gobs, but a lot smaller, and a lot more rat pig like.
Oh man, now I'm considering one as a pet.
Oh no.
Get yourself the chimeric familiar.
Mm-hmm.
You already have one. Just
Yeah. Gene will just carry it around.
Yeah, I think your Phoenix is a little bit of an upgrade.
Yeah.
So, interested in seeing how well the children perform, or?
We're here. Might as well give the people a show.
Okay.
I want to rob the people while they're distracted.
Right. Okay. So, did we end up treating them as an expert for the group?
I believe so, yes.
In the sheet. No, it doesn't look like we did, but still, that's still 2 dice for fortune roll to see how they do. And what's the goal? To act as a distraction?
I don't know what the goal is, in all honesty. That's what I was asking, if anyone wants to rob the people. But really, what are we doing here, darlings? Just having a bit of fun?
Just a little bit before we go visit the museum, I guess.
Yeah.
Live a little.
I need to get to know Jason
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So
We could just have the children do an impromptu performance. For no reason
well, I wouldn't mind
whatsoever.
trying to pick some pockets. Maybe
Hmm,
somebody has
we
something
might.
interesting here.
There'll certainly be some targets worth picking.
I mean, we are on Broadway. There's a lot of
Tourists.
rich people that come through here. And could be some interesting witches in the crowd as well.
Indeed. We shall have to be careful not to be too obvious no matter what we do.
Would I be able to use my rod for the first time in the crowd to see if anybody has anything of like strong power or anything interesting?
Yeah, for sure. That would definitely count as a setup action if that's the goal. Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, we might as well try it out before we hit the museum.
See if it works.
Yeah, let's see if it works or not blows up in my
Oh,
face, okay?
I forgot the batteries at home.
Oh no!
Oh!
We forgot the top crystal. Let's see.
I think we lost Hollis.
We have lost all.
Oh no!
Oh no, Hollis, she must be hiding under the skirts.
Jesus, wow. Hey.
Welcome back.
So for how would I roll for the rod?
Well, let's roll for the children first.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Let's see
Covent
how
here.
they distract.
Oh no, we lost Little King for a minute there too.
Oh, I'm still here. I thought I was still here. Am I still here?
You are
You're
still here.
still
I can
here.
hear you.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
now.
God.
All right. Well, let's see if these children are going to require more training. It's a 6.
Okay, so a perfect setup
Oh, beautiful performance.
for deception. What was the what were they doing?
Well, we only learned the one routine, the titular song from Anything Goes.
That's right. So anything went, and it went well. So yeah, you have a mixed crowd of sapes and witches who have gathered around, and let's see. You hear a little bit of commotion coming from far back in the crowd. It seems like some people are just trying to get further up so that they can see. And of course, they've missed the bulk of the show by this time. So they are trying to make their way through the crowd pretty quickly.
Well, I guess it's not every day you see a troupe of tap dancing children.
Oh, no.
It is Broadway.
That's true.
New York loves their flash mobs.
Yeah, it's not usually free.
We'll prove that it's not free by robbing them of everything they have.
True.
Precise.
Well,
As soon as they know what the most valuable thing is.
I think as I notice them all moving up, I'm like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity. Everybody is fully distracted. They want to go see the rest of the show. So this is a good time to go to the back and just I kind of go into the shadows and pull out the staff.
Okay.
Like I have it hidden in my cloak, and I kind of pull it out of my cloak, and I figure we would do a little dowsing and see if there's
Okay.
anything interesting.
Well, you have a lot of people around you right now, so even using just a little bit of its power should have a big impact. So
Yeah, everybody's crowded, like
yeah.
pretty close, it seems.
So there's no roll for this. You just determine how much of the item's power you want to use. 1, 2, or 3. 1 is lesser, 2 is standard, and 3 is greater.
I think the lesser would work since
Yeah.
everybody is pretty concentrated. I don't think we really need to like use some full power here. We'll
Yeah.
pick up something halfway across the city at that point.
Yeah, you are drawn immediately to you're dowsing toward the ground, but as you sort of push your way through the crowd toward the person, you come to a massive brown hairy foot and you douse upward to see a 9-foot-tall squatch
I bet he smells
with
great.
a big
He's running with
pouch on
Squatch
his
soap.
hip. Well, on their hip. It's impossible to tell from this angle anything really about them. But yeah, it seems like you're being drawn to their pouch.
Ooh, I wonder, are any of us nimble enough to just dip a little sneaky hand in there?
Relatively nimble.
Relatively nimble.
Relatively nimble. Am I relatively nimble?
I assume that would be finesse.
Yeah, it could
Comes
be
to mind
finesse.
is the
I'm not
most-
nimble at all.
Well, I have 2 points in finesse too. I mean, I guess I could just be like, well, I'm the one dowsing, so and I looked up.
We could do it together, darling.
Mm.
I could
Practice.
try to pull his attention one way.
Mm.
Well, it's already being pulled by the
Mhm.
children. 2 distractions is better than 1.
Well, you are pretty eye-catching, so
Yeah.
I think that would work pretty well. Just a beautiful witch passes by, and I could see how the Squatch. Ooh.
Yeah, how do you want to distract?
Well, I will do the most me thing possible. I will go up to him, and with my lovely gloved hand, I will reach out to touch his fur and tell him how beautiful his coat is.
Hmm.
So
Uh,
silky and smooth.
Yes.
And Azalin, what does Yarrow want to do exactly?
So I figure while Elise is just complimenting and doing the beautiful distraction, I'm already kind of hunched down with my rod, so I just kind of like just walk up like I'm pretending to watch the children as well, and then just get a little close. And since I think we're all pretty close, I don't think that the Squatch would really notice if I kind of reached a little hand in their pocket. As sly as I can, and I'm wearing a cloak anyway, so I can just quickly reach in and reach out and see what I had grabbed.
Okay.
And I have 2 points in finesse, so I think we should be able to
Okay.
get something
And
pretty.
Extra
Did you want to
for
do
my
this as
assistance.
Do what?
Morningstar? Are you giving an assist or pulling off a group action?
I assumed it would be an assist. I suppose we could do a group action. It would make just as much sense.
Up to you two.
Yes. Let's do it as a group action.
Yeah.
Okay. So both of you roll finesse, and you get +1 die each for the setup action of the massive distraction. So this will be whoever can get their hand in there.
Well, I rolled a complete success.
Okay.
I also rolled a complete success.
Okay.
If-
Why don't you two describe how this went, since it was Yarrow's idea? Go ahead and you can start describing it, and then we'll add some Morningstar flourishes for Elise.
Well, like I said, I think I just snuck up real close. I did like a quick little grab, and I was quick enough to get my hand back into my cloak. Didn't even notice, and so I figured, well, let me see what I have. Let's I kind of give like a little side eye, like maybe a good escape. That way we can go back in the shadows and see what loot we've gotten.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't think we should just like, oh, what is this that we just got right in front of the Squatch?
That wouldn't be too sensible. would it?
Anything you want to add to that?
No, nothing particular. Well, as Elvin, or Yarrow, rather, is digging around in the bag, I will just touch here on his chest and touch there on his arm. Or their arm, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Every way across from the bag, so that doesn't even have a chance to look in that direction where he's looking everywhere I'm touching.
Okay.
Okay.
You hear a deep rumbling voice come down from the mountain of Squatch in front of you, and it rumbles and then turns higher pitched with thanks.
You're most welcome, darling. And then I blow a kiss, and I just back away gently as Yano makes their escape the other way.
You see him point back into the crowd and says, "Those robed assholes, are they coming for you?"
Oh.
From his vantage point, he's seeing a trio of red-robed, possibly witches, that are heading in this direction.
Children, human shield time.
Activate defense mode. Go.
We taught them how to form a phalanx as well.
Nice. All
Do
right.
they assemble with 2 kids as the feet?
Well, I'm going to take this moment to cliffhanger this. We'll go to a quick break so I can put everybody's names up on the sheet on the screen for everyone to see, and then we'll come back in about 4 or 5 minutes and continue. All right, be right back. All right, welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum. This is session 12, if I remember right. And we just left on the cliffhanger of there are 3 apparent witches in red cloaks busting through the crowd trying to get up to the front that they just spotted via a Squatch assistant who they pickpocketed. So I assume that Yarrow is going to take her what she received and just hide it and go about business as usual for a moment until you figure out what is going on, and then you can.
Yeah, I figure I'm just gonna slide that into like a little pocket that I'm like, because my cloaks a lot of stuff, so I'm just kind of hiding it in the pocket so nobody else senses it around me. And honestly, I think this would be a good time to send up Jean to maybe get some information about those witches.
Sure.
I don't want
But
them.
that is essentially firing a flare.
Yeah.
That's true. Although she can do a low
There-
ember. I wonder if there are any other witches around here with some nice flying.
Yeah,
familiar-
Hollis. Yeah.
Is there any way, like, I feel like I want to try and distract the crowd enough that they may notice less?
Well, the
If
crowd
that
is rather
makes any
distracted
sense.
already.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, is there a specific thing you're trying to do? Because I can see what you mean, but yeah, like, but as far as like an owl going up, or there are plenty of witches around right now that sending a familiar up probably wouldn't seem all that weird. Like, you've literally, while you've been walking through the crowd, seen like a rat jump across from one person's shoulder to another, so there are obviously witches in
Well,
the
it
crowd.
is New York.
Yeah, that's true.
Magical and non-magical rats.
Yeah.
It's got to go find some pizza for its family at home.
Yeah. Or,
It's
Or
4
fruit.
little turtle boys.
Aw.
all right, so Hollis, do you want to
Yeah.
send your familiar up? What action do you want to use, and what's the intent? What's the goal?
I'm gonna do a target to see if I can find specifically these 3 robed witches
Okay.
and get a kind of a fix on them and see where they're going, or if they do seem to be coming in our direction,
Right.
if they seem angry.
Okay. Yeah, target. That makes good sense. So yeah, if somebody had something they could do that could like clear out the crowd around them, so that maybe the owl could get down there easier to. But yeah, I think the owl's probably going to do a pretty good job on its own.
Yeah,
True.
that's
I
one of
believe in
his
you guys.
specialties.
Fine.
Looking at things.
What are you
He
using?
also has passive camouflage, so
Yeah, it's good when it's up in the air for sure.
yeah. He's a pretty small owl too.
Yeah.
All right.
At any rate, more discreet than a phoenix.
Although Jean is good to set off a flare if they do have angry intent.
Mm-hmm.
I have a partial success at a 5.
Okay. So I can answer 2 questions for you.
Okay. I would like to know if these witches are in fact coming in our direction
Yeah,
seemingly after
directly.
us.
They seem to be making a beeline for the performance line, not
Okay.
for any of you in particular, because you're kind of all scattered around. But if you sort of take the average position of the kids, that kind of like where they're headed, and then you get one more that
Does it
you're.
look like they have any ill will?
That's a really hard one for an owl to figure out, but yeah, you would say body language. It's kind of hard to tell body language when they're covered head to toe in red and black robes, but
Are wearing red and black robes. That's usually the sign of ill intent.
right. But I would say, yeah, in general, you're getting their bodies
Bad
are
vibes.
telling you this is get ready for action kind of thing.
Okay. All
When
right.
they were further away, it just looked like pushing and shoving and trying to get through a crowd. But yeah, from your vantage point, it's obvious they know exactly what they're doing.
Okay.
They're on a mission.
Yeah, I thought it was
Hollis is
going to be a
going-
Broadway producer.
They're coming to get the kids because they don't have a busker permit.
Hollis is gonna run around and tug on everybody's coattails and start making her way towards the front where the children are.
Okay. Is this a good time to flash back to whether or not you all did telepathic bond,
We contemplating.
which you do now have?
Yeah.
So that would cost a downtime action and 1 essence from everybody.
Alrighty.
So, or 1 downtime action from any one member of the group, and 1 essence from each person.
So to do a flashback, because I think we already did, we all spent all of our downtime actions.
So you could use the Fey Fruit.
Yeah.
Which we have.
Yeah, can we steal some from our special
Oh,
coin?
yeah, you had absolutely done
Okay.
it while you were there, so for sure. Yeah, you can take it from your hoard.
Okay.
Okay.
And then everybody spends an essence.
And that way you all have a telepathic connection no matter where you are in this crowd.
Sounds good?
The witch's cell phone, as they call it.
Way more reliable than a cell phone.
Yep.
Does Seth technically
Multimedia.
have a shell phone?
If you want it to be a shell phone, it totally can.
Absolutely.
It's a
If-
conch.
Yeah, if you made it so yours is always like a physical thing, that could even count as casting style.
Ooh.
So if it caused you a problem, like your shell phone broke, and you couldn't use it until you got a new one, then yeah, that would count as complications from casting style. So
Okay, cool.
something to keep in mind.
All right. Well, I will convey what I saw through Iran and have everybody move towards the children, just in case they will need protecting.
Yep.
I mean, they already have killed them.
Sure.
Is there any way that I could distract them in any way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have your dog. You could send around to like get between their legs and prevent them from being a united force.
I shall do that then.
Get them separated from one another.
Yeah, I'll just send TJ out to what he always does in my life, which is just educate and also mess around.
Too bad they're not coming downstairs at the same time. But
oh no, it's a domino effect.
well, maybe if you get a critical, they are coming downstairs at the time.
Yeah.
But
What would that be the roll for?
I could see target. I could see brawl. I could see finesse. I even prowl could work.
I have like 1 dot in
Spring.
prowl, so that would be.
Spring could work.
Apologize. What were you gonna say?
Spring could also work.
Spring. I guess only one that I actually have like a dot in is prowl.
Well, you could take a Fey bargain if you'd like. That
Fey
gives
bargain.
you an extra die at a cost of some weird thing happening.
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
So would that be 3d6?
So you. Yeah, because they're distracted as well from the overall action. And for the Fey bargain, we got to pick that before you roll. So, let's see. How about? Anybody have any ideas?
I am not as well versed in Fey bargains, so.
Let me put in our little chat the exclamation point bargain. So what I'm using is a tool that our bot has that can tell you what the Fey bargains are. So they can be proposed by GMs or other players, and you get +1 die if you accept one. They include collateral damage, unintended harm, losing an item, even momentarily, appear to betray a friend or loved one, offend or anger a faction, start and or tick a troublesome clock, add fate to the coven from evidence or witnesses, suffer harm, or any other devious or mischievous complication.
A troublesome clock, maybe. We can see how long until they notice, what we're really up to, and that we are out in the cloud or crowd.
On the clouds.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to
So
be.
maybe 6
We are not
o'clock.
on the cloud. We don't have access.
So like a
Does
6
Seth's cell
o'clock.
phone have access to the cloud?
So I was thinking maybe like a 6 o'clock where they recognize that there are witches and familiars that are active here and they can track down who you are.
True.
And we'll just fill in one. So right now there's 1 tick on a 6 o'clock for them spotting the witches here. All right. Sounds good. And you can make that roll.
Failure.
Yeah?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 3. That was the highest out of all the 3 of them.
Okay. So let's say they recognize that this is the activity of a familiar and not a normal dog. But they're not immediately sure that this was done on purpose. So what we'll do is we'll fill in 2 ticks on that clock, so now it's half full. And we'll also raise the situation up to risky from controlled.
I tried.
All right.
Yeah, maybe he was just smelly from being outside and they smelled him.
Thank you. He's got the boat smell.
I'm wondering, can we create a diversion, like if Seth just clocks somebody in the back of the dome and starts a group fight, and then we can get away.
Turn from a Broadway play into a Travis Scott concert.
Mosh pit. Mosh pit.
Mosh pit.
I think if you do want to get away, if that's the idea, then for sure that's something.
We had a good chat suggestion. That Squatch, that Elise decided to. They have a little affinity for us.
Yeah.
And they are big.
To get their help, like do a sway or command to see if you can get their help.
They
What
are
exactly
big.
do we want their help with? Are we just going to look for another distraction? Or do we want to just knock these hooded wretches out?
They might just want to see the show. Maybe we should just let them do what they're going to do and we react to whatever it is they do.
I don't really like the way they beeline for the kids, though.
Everybody in the crowd kind of did that, though.
It's true.
Yeah, they're just late.
I mean, I feel like we definitely need more information on who these people are.
So maybe take up defensive positions and wait. Because they don't seem to know exactly who it is there that is here.
Seeing as how I am very appropriately dressed, and despite being ostentatious, at least fit in, I'm not going to take any positions that seem necessarily hostile or aware.
Mm-hmm. But having the Squatch as a potential bodyguard still could be interesting.
Code name will be Squatch Watch.
What I could do is I could say, "Oh dear, they seem to be going, because the Squatch was the one who noticed them,
Mm-hmm.
they seem to be going right for the children. How worrisome.
I'm going to give you +1 die for all the setup, including the stuff you did earlier with the, touching and nice words. And I'm going to give increased effect because this Squatch has personal abilities that are very helpful in this regard. So increased or +1 die and +1 effect level.
Which
So
might
that'll
not
be
amount to much, because I don't actually have any points in sway whatsoever. But 1 die is helpful. It's a partial success.
Okay. So what's the goal? Just to get
Well,
them
just to sway the Sasquatch into acting on their own accord,
right.
in the sense that they're aware that there's some unsavory characters beelining for some children.
Okay. So I think what that would look like is the Squatch does the same thing the 3 other witches are doing, except much more rapidly and efficiently, parting the
Okay.
crowd. You seem to have touched on its matronly instincts as well. And yeah, so it is on a collision course with these 3 other witches.
Good.
All right. As they get close, the 3 witches do notice that there is a Squatch coming for them and stop. And you see wands come out from underneath their cloaks, and the 3 of them in unison, almost as one being, start casting a spell together. And the Sasquatch lifts into the air, about as tall as it is, about 9 feet up. And they just saunter underneath where it was and continue walking toward the stage.
Am I able to use my arcane supremacy here and
Absolutely.
dispel that?
You sure can.
Let's get our Squatch buddy back.
Okay.
Spell it while he's in the air above them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Wile E.
Sounds good.
Coyote piano action.
Keep misgendering this poor Sasquatch.
Oh. I'm sorry, ma'am. You have beautiful fur.
Your beard is truly lovely.
Let's see. I haven't done enough like grimoire powers in rolling and all like that and using them. So, how do I go about using that power?
I'm pretty sure that one is a simple focus roll, but it does cost 3 essence.
Okay. Which I'm doing pretty good on essence. So let's.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful one because you can basically say no to any NPC casting a spell.
Power word,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I guess it's arcane
Active silence.
supremacy.
Yeah. And
Okay.
at what point in the spell do you want to cancel it? Do you, like you said, while the Squatch is above them?
Yeah, while the Squatch is like lifted up and the Squatch starts looking around a little panic because it's being lifted up. It's not used to being lifted up as a Squatch.
Like
So I
Wile
feel
E.
like
Coyote hovering in the air before he falls.
yeah,
Right.
like little feet running or big feet running kind of in the air.
Big
yeah.
feet.
Yeah, I wanna just cancel. I wait until I see it would get like the most momentum down, and that's when I decide to cast that.
I don't want this
Awesome.
poor woman to have momentum down.
I think this is going to be risky and reduced effect because you're going against 3 casters' will rather than 1.
Okay.
But you can cancel that out by spending an additional 2 essence. No, sorry, an additional 1 essence would cancel out the fact that there were 3 of them casting.
I think I can swing that.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
let's.
just something we tend to recover a bit quicker than willpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that too, just because I only feel slightly bad about taking their little powerful artifact too. So I'm like, let's just let's avoid more suspicion and help the Squatch a little more.
True. Good point.
Keep
Alright,
your
so-
enemies closer.
Risky standard effect.
That's exclamation risky, correct?
Just exclamation and the number of dice that you have in focus.
1. Okay.
And you can take a Fey bargain if you'd like.
I think I'm good on. Again, I'm good on Fey bargains. I only have two notches left there, so.
So right now you've got a 50-50 chance.
I have a partial success out of 5.
Oh, good. Okay.
Smashing.
Well,
Smashing,
okay.
literally.
Yeah. So the squatch comes down like a literal ton of bricks. You hear bones break,
Oh no.
but not
That
all
won't
of
be
them
theirs.
were the squatches.
No.
Well,
So
there's a plus.
the squatch took some damage, but so did 2 of the witches. The third manages to jump ahead of the others, and they make a beeline straight for the kids. And now there's pretty much nothing left in their way, unless one of you wants to get in their way.
So, can I take advantage of my size
Yeah,
and go for their legs and just kind of like tackle
sure.
their legs?
I almost thought you'd bring out the ankle biting powders.
I was about to say.
Slides in, mouth first. Ow.
It's worked before.
All right, yeah. What's the goal? To take them down?
Yeah. Knock them off their feet.
All right. What do you want to use for that?
Brawl.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's going to be risky.
And- Risky? I think I'll spend the 2 willpower
Okay.
and get a 3rd die.
Okay.
Yarrow starts whispering, "Mosh, mosh, mosh."
I got a complete success.
Nice. Okay, what does that look like?
Let's see. Hollis crouches down real low and she runs for their legs, and I assume they're standing close to each other. So she kind of hooks her arms in around 2 of their legs and pushes all of her weight forward and drags those 2 legs out from underneath them.
Oh, okay.
And they go over towards their face.
Well, there is only one left.
Oh,
The
okay.
other
well,
2
then
got crushed.
then it's
But
very
you,
easy.
so you can
then.
get both of their legs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Pick them up for nunchucks.
So yeah, you just clip the legs and they go straight forward. You see as the witch hits the ground, her cloak hood bounces back and long curly red hair comes out from her cloak. And she lifts her face off the ground and her nose is bloody. And she points her wand up at the kids.
Can I roll around and jump on her back
Yeah.
and grab that wand?
Yeah, somebody want to send a familiar in to assist, or?
Yeah, let's send Jean.
Actually, on the subject of sending an assist, in that pile, are any of them conscious, unconscious?
They're not taking any action right now until they get the squatch off them. So no, right now they're not active.
I was just checking because I can manipulate the unconscious. Well, then I will get a bit closer and throw a throwing knife at the witch.
Okay. So this sounds like it might be a group action of a whole bunch of people doing a lot of things there.
Yeah, I don't want them going after the kids that have been trained so well. They've gone through so much work.
Bleeding feet and all. They don't deserve this.
Yeah. I think both of those things, snatching a wand and throwing a dagger, can both be finesse. If that works for the 2 of you. As a group action?
I was imagining throwing the dagger would be finesse at any rate.
Yeah.
I suppose it could be target as well.
Could be, yeah.
But
so who's leading the group action?
I can lead the group actually, because I have Master Planner.
Oh yeah.
Which
Does Jason want to get? Do you want to get your familiar in there as well?
Ooh, he can go in for another save, I guess. TJ's redemption.
All right. So group finesse from all three of you.
Yup.
That's going to be risky. Greater effect. What do we have so far? Couldn't hear you, Morningstar.
I've rolled a 5.
Okay, awesome.
Or that this isn't picking up now.
You try to stick more in front of it when you strafe, it kind of fades out.
And I can't help it, darling. I'm flamboyant.
Anya, did you make a?
Oh, am I
Finesse roll?
rolling?
Yeah, for your
This is a
snatch and
finesse?
wand,
Gotcha. Okay.
and JT as well. Or
Yeah. Is gonna roll a finesse. I only have
I got a 6.
one.
nice.
So
2. Okay,
cursed.
so
Your poor
That'll
pupper's
cost-
under the weather.
He's not great.
that'll cost Morningstar 2 willpower. And Hollis, you can start the narration.
Okay. I am going to crawl around on top of the back of this girl, and I'm going to grab her mare to hair and jerk her head back. So you can get a nice throat shot with your throwing knife. The doggy can run right by and grab this wand. It'll be great.
Okay.
I suppose a throat shot would work. I was planning on just throwing it at her shoulder, make her drop it.
That works.
I'd like to find out a little bit more about what she's doing before we end her.
Okay. And Jason, you send your dog out. You want to
Just
describe
misses.
him getting
Nice.
the wand?
Yeah.
Can grab it as it falls to the ground and run away with it.
Yeah. That's better.
He thinks you're
A
playing
complete
Game of
failure.
Touch.
But it's a complete success because we've all
Yeah, you
rolled
get
a
to take
complete
advantage of the
success.
6.
It's as if everybody rolled a 6. So,
But with Master Planner, if everyone rolled a 6, that would be a critical.
yeah. Okay, something that the dog notices, or that Jason notices, is that once you get a hold of the wand, it has a skull, a carved skull on the end, the hilt, with horns, like demonic looking horns coming out.
Feel like I don't know if he's holding. I don't think he would hold it just yet. Probably because he doesn't really know if there's any like hexes on there or anything that like burn your hand if you touch it. So he's probably gonna like.
Well, it's in your
down.
familiar's mouth, so
Yeah.
if it was
be
gonna do
fine.
something, it probably would have done it to your familiar
Yeah.
already.
Doesn't hurt to double check. So he's just gonna like pull his like sweater down to like. You know how you do with gold, you pull it down to make like a fake glove.
In
Just hold
fairness,
it.
the familiar is undead.
Yeah, he's undead. It's not gonna. What is he gonna do? Kill him again?
What are you gonna do? Kill me again? Yeah. Okay. Yep. You pull it out, and yeah, it's made of wood that looks like it grew twisted,
Ooh.
and yeah, but the whole thing seems carved of solid wood. It seems exceptionally made, and
Oh, when we meet the person who made them, I'll give him my regards.
So Hollis, I think you said something to her. What was it?
Oh, I hadn't said anything to her.
Oh, you're right. You were talking to Elise about where to throw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, she's sort of babbling through the bloody nose, and she looks up at you. It's just sort of cranes her head. Oh, I forgot to describe what happened with the dagger. It does. It just hits her right in the shoulder. And yeah, her muscles seize, and she drops the wand directly into the dog's mouth. But she looks up at Hollis and twists her neck, and you just barely make out the word daughter as she's holding her face, and then she goes unconscious.
Are one of those kids her daughter?
Maybe they were stealing kids. And these all belong to other witches.
We the baddies?
We liberated these children.
They were on an anti-magic boat, so
All right, I'm gonna slap her awake. Like, what? Wake up!
We could just bring her back to our cell.
Yeah.
We don't even have
Let's
to carry
grab all
her.
of them and bring them back with us. And maybe fix up that Sasquatch.
Oh, you guys
Yes.
fix up the Sasquatch. I want to
We
try
should do
and
something about that Sasquatch.
yeah. I want to try as you guys are picking them up, just to distract anyone else from going on. We just do
Nothing is happening here.
yeah, just pretend like this is some sort of charity speech for the kid. This is a charity event for the kids. You see, we are a traveling company here outside of mostly locally from Chicago, and we love to help these children experience the lives that they never really got to have from their parents. So any donation is appreciated.
As the one witch is falling unconscious, I would like to immediately, before she completely collapses to the ground, summon an astral entity to possess her.
Okay.
So that she doesn't collapse in a pile.
Okay.
Yeah, easier to transport.
Yeah, it's just walking.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I have to roll for that.
I
Tell me
think
what
it's
to roll.
automatic if you're not trying to mind read her or anything at the same time. There's no roll.
All right.
Just spend the essence.
So I'll just roll her at the original tier, the lowest tier, because I don't want her fighting. I just want to walk her somewhere.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, I don't think it would be a stretch to get the Squatch to follow you somewhere after what happened.
Not a
So
very smart
We already
squad.
pickpocketed her. We don't have to lead her into an alley.
yeah.
And we broke some of her bones. Yeah, she's been through a lot right now.
Goodness.
Yeah. I meant if you wanted to get some healing for her. Can't hear you at all, Morningstar.
My microphone is being very stubborn this evening.
All right.
I'm going to have to stay perched on top of it.
All right. Where are you off to next?
Now, do any of us have any healing abilities?
I don't have healing abilities, but I have a first aid kit.
I don't think I do. No, I don't.
It's funny to be able to resurrect people but not heal.
Yeah,
It's kind of
I
funny.
can only do it once they're dead, so you'd have to
Yeah.
die first.
Somebody off her and I'll bring her back.
It's like, well, we could. Oh, my mic. We're having all mic problems. We could just ask if she would like to come with us to be healed, or if she's just had enough of us. We have gotten her
Yeah.
into some problems.
Or we just tried to bring her to the nearest hospital.
Yeah, it could be
So
there.
what kind of astral spirit do you want to get to inhabit her body? What do you want to be your friend this time?
Didn't actually know there was options with that.
There's not a list of options, but astral spirits are the embodiments of thoughts and concept. So you could have basically grandfather time or the
Easter
concept
Bunny.
of war inhabit her.
Not do
It's-
war.
It's completely up to you. Any kind of
And I
natural-
would like the very spirit of obedience.
Nice. I like that.
The essence of submission.
Put a little collar on her.
Submission by Calvin Klein.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, how about what do you think to the idea of having it manifest as a collar?
I love it.
Okay. Does it match the rest of her outfit, or?
No, it matches mine.
Nice.
Show who she belongs to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she is unconscious, but her body is completely mobile and everything. So, yeah, she's just sort of zombieing behind you and following all of your commands.
Elise
Why
is
don't
going
we
to
just
have an
ask
army
the
soon.
kids real quick?
What's that?
Is this one? I want we just ask the kids real quick. Is this one of you guys' mom? Parent?
Yeah, one of the kids who, when you look through the kids, the resemblance is uncanny.
Oh,
The
It's the
oldest
hair.
girl has the Merida hair too.
Goodness.
Yeah. And she's back there crying, but she's glad that her mom is more or less safe despite the runny
I'll
nose.
do my best to comfort that child.
Okay.
I'm more worried about the other mothers now.
Now that everybody's got a mom somewhere. Why did we not ask the children how they ended up on that boat?
We just assumed they were children of racists.
Yeah.
A little human interaction would have been nice, but
Yeah.
Well, we're not human.
No.
true.
A human? I don't know.
Aesthetically, we're human.
Aesthetically.
We are
Speak for
Homo
yourself.
strigger, not Homo sapien.
Yeah, we'll just pretend my horn's right there.
So, do you want to? Where do you want to go? Just to an alley somewhere? Do you want to head back to your covenstead with her?
We'll go to Sardi's.
Yes, we could just go to Sardu's. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Right across from Phantom.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't mind us hodgepodge group just camping out there.
Well,
I mean, witches probably make up 30% of their business.
So, yeah, luckily it's 15 minutes or so until closing time, so it's relatively empty in there, despite the hundreds of people on the sidewalk outside. So, yeah.
I'm gonna use my sleeve to wipe off some of the blood off the lady's face so she doesn't look so weird when we take her in the building.
Or like use it to bandage the shoulder that's bleeding from the knife wound.
Yeah.
Taking my knife out yet.
The spirit of obedience is...
She thanks me.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Read my mind.
Also, did I get any money doing that whole asking people for donations thing to cover the bill for Sardi's?
So, the problem about the money that they use is
It's
that
all
it's
Bitcoin.
all electronic. And, yeah, so you had a lot of people coming up and trying to swipe their electronic devices. But, yeah, you didn't have a device reader, so...
I didn't get the square from the boat.
Yeah, the problem is they glitch out when they're used by witches, so it's why witches aren't part of the normal economy, sadly.
Well, while we're in this Sardi's, can I check out what I swiped from the Squatch?
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Squatch with us?
Soon we just took her to the nearest hospital.
Oh,
Did we
okay.
take her to the hospital or to the vet?
Oh,
Oh.
That's not very
Soon.
nice.
Would they have magical hospitals specifically for creatures, though?
Generally, no. Most people just go to the same place. Hell. Okay, so let's. I'm trying to remember. I think Seth just said something, and I forgot what it was.
No, I mentioned going to Sardi's, and then my
Yeah.
Yaro
that
wants
joke,
to
that was-
check what's in the pouch.
Oh, that's right. Roll 1 fortune die.
Okay. Oh.
So
I
exclamation.
forgot to put the number. Sorry. There we go. All right. Limited, partial effect, or 2 ticks. So it's 4.
Okay. It's an artifact in the shape of a so it's a dagger that's shaped like a crescent moon, and it's silver, not silver colored. It's actual silver, but it seems to have some kind of. It might need some kind of activation or something like that to be used, and you can't quite pinpoint what its abilities are right offhand.
Could I use my psychometry?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. What did you say, Seth?
I was asking if I could use my psychometry on it. To
Dagger.
touch an item to gather information about emotional events in its past.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to roll for that?
Maybe just a study.
Okay.
Oh, it's a failure out of 3.
Okay. So I think what that looks like is you're used to just being able to like touch things, and like your mind kind of merges with the item and you start feeling the emotions and everything. You feel like you just got like kicked in the head is a bit strong, but you got like emotionally repelled.
Okay.
And you kind of recognize that it might just simply be that shifters are barred for some reason from using this item, and so it might just be rejecting because you're a shifter.
Aren't you in the same family as werewolves?
So yeah, you get that. That's the feeling you get, is that there's something antithetical to a shifter in it.
Should have taken over the mind of that squatch when I was there.
Yeah, I wonder if the Squatch was somehow a werewolf hunter.
So the employees at Sardi's come out to say something to all of you about, we're closing or whatever. They see the sort of state of affairs of all of you, and they just go right back to the back. And then you watch the cashier walks away from her station, and yeah, the whole place goes.
I hold up a hand. I hold up my hand, finger,
and
I say, "Bring me a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon."
Like they don't get paid enough for all this.
Is that a command? Is that a command
Yes,
roll?
that is a command, and it's a partial success.
Okay.
It's a very bad bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon.
They grabbed it from the gas station right next to.
Yeah, it's gonna take them a couple minutes to get it.
What type of
Yes, ma'am. Of course. Yes. Be right there. Moments.
I was going to say, what type of food do they have here?
burgers.
It's been
Oh,
years
okay.
since I've been to Sardi's.
Sardi's? Oh,
I don't even remember what this is.
Curly
I
fries.
was looking up Sardi's as we were talking about Sardi's, and all I saw was an Italian restaurant. I'm pretty sure that's not it.
So would I be able
I
to
ask for a
use-
burger.
They'll
Would
serve you a burger if I tell them to serve them a burger to you.
You could be hungry from all the begging earlier. Come on.
It's not begging if you're providing a show, it's panhandling.
Oh, there you go. Sorry. The distinction. Would
Well,
I be able to
possibly.
use my grimoire sense to see if there's a resonance, like what resonance the dagger has?
Yeah.
Like maybe to see like what kind of power, like pinpoint the type of power it is.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want to roll for that?
Let's do. I have a point in study, so I guess that would be a good like study it. Or since I have so many points in crafting and it is an artifact, would that help? Kind of like a backwards engineering.
Yeah, it could be similar to things that you've crafted in the past. Or you could also use focus.
Focus. Let's see. Do I have it? Let me check focus. Actually, I do have. Okay, that's the same in focus too. Yes. So I could focus. Actually, yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me do one. There we go. Oh, it was a failure. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. You don't recognize it. This might take some book study. Maybe when you head back to your arcane library, you'll be able to
Get Quinn
more.
on it.
Yeah.
And it is then that you hear a couple of gunshots from out on the street where you were just at.
Oh no.
God.
Oh. It is New
New
York.
York.
And then you see a furry and bloody hand reach up to the door and then down
No.
it collapses
Sasquatch.
in front of the door, having been shot 2 times.
Can we drag the Sasquatch in the building?
We should probably find out who's shooting the Sasquatch.
Yeah. Yeah, you well
I
actually
pulled my gun out and dipped my head out the window.
you go to push the door open and it's blocked by the Squatch's body.
Oh.
I bet it was those other 2 red-robed guys that we left on the street.
Oh yeah, what did you do with the other kids? Are they in here with you?
They all.
Oh, yes, the
they all
kids
marched in here.
came with us. We're not going to
Okay.
leave the kids behind.
Okay.
The
all
kids are now
individually-
cowering in fear
Yeah.
after the gunshot went off.
They're
Yeah.
all individually screaming for French fries and milkshakes.
Burgers.
Yes.
Chicken
What
nuggets.
chicken nuggies?
All right. So I think that puts us back in risky. But you're not seeing anybody immediately. So the Squatch is blocking the door that you would need to open to get the Squatch in. So unless you wanted to break some of the windows or something, you're going to have a hard time getting her in.
Make Squatch die so I can heal you.
It's gonna upgrade from the dog.
It's so dark out there and there are so many people, you can't see who the assailants are out there at all. But you do have a good idea, obviously, of who it probably is, but
Maybe we wake up the other, the red-haired lady and get her to call her guys off.
And if she doesn't, at least if we took the
Well, we could
spirit
make
out of
her.
her, I could put it in the Sasquatch and it doesn't have to be alive anymore for that.
True.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back to figure out what we're gonna do next. All right, welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum. We left off with a shot watch in front of the door to Sardes, and the assailants are nowhere to be seen. The crowd is dispersing quickly, though, as soon as the gunshots started. And I think Elise is currently the most prepared with her revolver drawn. She's in the assumed the position.
We don't have that bottle of wine, though, so not that prepared.
Yep, the wine is going to be delayed.
Aw.
Would
I
I
should
be
have
able
added an extra die to that roll.
Circumstances being what they are, do we still have that clock going? That
No, we've cleared that out. They definitely know who you are.
They've noticed us.
Yeah. Now, that is interesting, though. Now that they have noticed, we should probably roll your lore to see if they know any of your lore, since they have figured out who you are. So, how many lore do you all have? Is it 3? You have strange, brutal, and you should have a third one now.
Arson.
Arson.
Let's see. I just have strange and brutal on our sheet.
I don't
Yeah.
think
I
we've
have
taken
strange
the
brutal
third
as well.
one.
Yeah, I
think
don't
we're
think we picked a third
discussing
one.
So you'll need a third one now that you have 3. Now that you're tier 2.
Well, I don't think honorable works. Or subtle, or professional.
Ambitious?
Ambitious or daring. I
I'm
would say.
ambitious.
Ambitious?
I think ambitious works.
I like
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to roll 1 die on strange. They don't know you for being strange. I'm going to roll a die on brutal. They don't know you for brutal.
Oh.
They don't know you for ambitious either. So they
They don't know us at all.
have a general idea about who you are, but they don't actually know you by reputation.
That might be good.
Yeah.
So they just know we have the kids.
Yeah. So that's all they're going off of. So that helps sort of color everything in hopefully the right light for why they've gone at this the way they did. I was hoping they would roll that they knew you were brutal and nothing else.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But
Yes.
I mean, for if you, I guess every coven is technically dangerous, so you never know.
oh, absolutely. All right. So what's the action?
Well, I could release the obedient spirit from the body of that witch. I don't know whether she'll come to consciousness or not, so someone's going to have to be prepared to keep her from flailing about.
Sure.
Can try and help with that.
And then I could attempt to cast it on the Sasquatch
Okay.
to at least move her body.
And then could I just send Jean, if we do get the body moved, to like light the
Mhm.
way a little bit so they can maybe see what is going on out in the darkness out there?
Yeah. Sounds good. So the first step there would be seeing if the witch comes to when you release the spirit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that she does. She's had some blood loss, but everything's clotted up, and so
I'm gonna call the kid over to talk to her mom. Maybe
Okay.
that will ease the stress a little bit.
that's fantastic. That'll keep them both busy. I don't think you'll have to worry about either of them the rest of the time. Okay?
all this is happening. Steph's just in the back, like frying up burgers for the kids.
Aw. Nice.
Employees left.
Yeah, Steph's gonna have a hard time casting being around all this heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least
But
I have
what-
curly fries.
What Steph will do for everyone's nourishment.
But all the fries are going to be extra salty.
You just rub your
Sea
hands
salt.
together over them. All right. So I think because you're trying to cast this onto an unconscious creature, and you don't have touch, because normally you like to touch to do these things. What do you say to reduced effect? Can't hear you at all.
No, sorry. I keep forgetting how weak this microphone is this
It's
evening.
still very quiet. Let me see if I can boost it on my end.
I'm not certain why it's acting up this evening.
It sounds better now.
All right. I've increased my input volume a bit. I think that sounds perfectly fair to me.
Okay.
But that, rather than the spirit of submission, that would be better to have the spirit of war, perhaps. Or vengeance, because it's been shot.
Mhm. Okay. Do you want to enhance this one? Bring it up a few levels in...
Why not? Yes,
Okay.
let's bring it up. Let's add another 2 essence into that, so that it rolls at Covenant tier.
Okay. So, yeah, let's do a focus roll just to see how it goes.
So seldom do I actually focus. It's a failure. No.
Okay. So, I think it's going to work. It's just going to take some time. And during the time that you're getting close enough that you can, like, touch the window that the Sasquatch is leaned against, you hear a couple more bullets are fired. And one of them breaks the window and ricochets around the restaurant a bit. And the other finds its way into the building's exterior. So we're going to go up to from risky to desperate. And you're still not seeing the people that are there, but now your spirit has taken over the body. And currently it's providing you a decent amount of cover.
So at this point, since the window is broken, can I go ahead and send out Jean and do a survey and see who's shooting?
Yeah, you'll need to break through the rest of that window, but for such a big bird and everything, that shouldn't be too bad.
Toss a chair.
What's that?
I'm imagining the
Just toss
edges
a chair.
melting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
do you
so
want to use for that?
I figured, yeah, for the tossing of the chair.
Oh, sorry, I missed the chair thing.
Yeah, we'll just take a chair and just like use the leg, like scrape off the rust.
Sure.
And I guess I would then just roll a survey.
Sounds good.
All right.
And we'll just treat you being that close to the window as part of the roll.
Okay.
So for purposes of determining what the
Yeah, because she could definitely light out there, and I could just see if there is any. Oh, it was a failure.
Okay.
But it wasn't. I need to mark that.
Bird smacks against the glass.
Or we might have missed a piece of glass, and she caught her wing on a piece of glass.
Oh, I think the effects are going to come to you for being close to the window with the chair. So you throw the chair through, and the bird goes, screaming through and flies out and up, and it's out of harm's way. But that's when you hear 3 gunshots go off, and now you can, from as close as you are, and now that you're not looking through spider-webbed glass, you can see pretty clearly where they're coming from. But one of the shots hits you. So
Okay.
you're looking at level 2 harm. Shot in stomach.
Ooh, okay. Oh man, I can't enjoy those curly fries.
You can
What is
resist
it?
that if you'd like.
Is this curly fries?
Yeah, let's go ahead and resist. Let me. Is that just 1 die? For
It's so on a resist of a gunshot, I'm gonna say that would probably be insight for you to have found cover before you get shot. So you would roll insight, and so exclamation point your insight, and then the letter R,
I
and
have
that'll tell you.
I have a lot in insights.
Nice, and that'll tell you how many willpower it'll cost.
No willpower.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. So
Matrix
what does that
bulge.
look like?
So I would basically, I guess since Jean did get out there, she was able to, like, I was able to at least see enough that I was able to dodge roll.
Yeah.
And basically, I think that would just be kind of maybe reduced while I dodged roll. Maybe I kind of like still like bumped a horn and knocked my head a little.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Just like a little bit of something, because we are pretty risky right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would say that let's reduce it down to a level 1 harm.
Mhm.
And
Or
yeah,
you can
call
have
it.
it so like in the movies how there just is a convenient thing in your pocket, and then you have like a bruised rib or something.
Yeah, or that the dagger that is, because I have been holding on to it since I did tried to sense what it is.
Yeah, I think though, you know what? Let's make it no harm because you rolled so well on the resistance roll. But yeah, you roll through some glass and you've got shards of glass in your clothes, but nothing really bit into you at all.
Okay. Well, at
All
least I
right.
was able to avoid that.
And right now you're the person with the best idea of where the assailants are.
Oh yeah, so basically I kind of like gestured to the rest of them, like kind of where they are, like 6 o'clock, out there. That way maybe we can get a better plan of an aimed action at them.
Well, actually, don't we still have telepathic bond at this point?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Even better.
Exactly. So basically everybody else sees exactly where they are as well. They've kind of given away their their position.
Yep.
So I think at this point it would be best to figure out who would do the best at a range attack.
Yep. So you see that the two of them have gotten down behind a concrete barricade on the other side of the road, and they're both crouched down behind that barricade and turning around and firing over it every now and again.
I'm going to shout out, "We could keep playing this game, darlings, but nothing's going to prevent one of those stray bullets from landing in your children's head.
Ooh.
So it might be a
Jason
good
just
idea
looks
if you
over at Elise
put
like,
the
"What the
guns
fuck?"
down."
Yeah. Sounds good.
Which I assume is more of a sway, even if it's threatening, because it's more of a threat that they're going to hurt the children.
It sounds like a command to me because it's, well, I can see sway too, yeah.
And I'm telling them, put the guns down, so
Yeah.
I suppose it could be a command. I'm
You're-
telling them
you're
what
just-
will happen if they don't follow my commands.
Right. It's a command and then you have additional leverage.
Alright.
So I'll say increased effect, but still desperate because
Alright.
you're putting yourself in harm's way to get that close.
Oh yes. Might get shot. It's a partial success.
Okay. You've delivered the bulk of your oratory on what seem like listening, attentive ears. And then you hear the sound of sneakers scuff against the ground, and it frightens one of them that's still holding their gun, and a shot rings out, and you hear the sound of glass shattering, and you see the Sardi's attendant creeping toward you with a broken bottle of wine. It has bit the dust.
Unforgivable.
The two witches on the other side of the road put their hands up and
They know what they've done.
start walking across the street toward the door.
They are fortunate that I am one of the few of us who is not reckless. But I do keep my gun trained on them
Okay.
as they approach quietly.
All
I've
right.
got 2 bullets left, 1 for each of them.
Yes, I'm not going to fire it, but my god.
You also have a Sasquatch of war between you and them.
God.
War Squatch.
That sounds like a band name.
Hell yeah.
Got a Sasquatch of war. Are you ready to rock?
All right.
They're quite fortunate that I
Mhm.
am so forgiving. My wine's been ruined.
It wasn't a
We'll
good
get you another
bottle
one.
anyway.
And at this point, while everybody's out there, I'm just starting to pick off all the glass off me.
Yeah. You end up calling back to the back to see if anybody's still back there, and everybody's gone at this point. So it looks like your group and these 3 witches all have the restaurant to yourself at this point. And of course, you still have the Squatch that is rare and looking for a fight out on the street. The Spirit of War is not interested in you guys all playing nice.
Jarl looks out the window and starts whispering, "Mosh, mosh" again.
Jason just looks as like hot mosh right now. I feel like the Spirit of War is different in idea of what moshing is.
Yeah.
Mash? What?
All right.
So let's see what these people have to say.
Yeah. So they appear to have, at some point in the past, her daughter had gone missing at the age of like 7, and she's now 13.
Oh, dang.
And all of their spells to locate her had gone completely dead. Nothing was working. And when you hear them describing their spell work, you know immediately why that was. Their spell work was confined to Manhattan.
Oh. She was on the boat.
Yep. So apparently this was 100% intentional by Corpus to keep these witches' children away from them. And so it's entirely possible that all of the kids that you saved from the Corpus's ship are abductees that had been brainwashed.
Well, that's gross.
Do we try to return the kids to their parents at this point so we don't get more vengeance against us randomly like this, or?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, that's
Put out a notice.
yeah.
Hey, we found a bunch of kids.
Just
Have
put
you
up a
been
bunch of
missing
like
a
lost
child?
dog posters.
Yeah,
We just
found.
found that. We didn't do anything else. We only just found them.
Found really
Depends on the
good
tap
tap
dance.
dancing kids.
Last scene on the
They learned a
Smash
new
Flash
skill.
Mob hit. If
They
anything
learned that
goes-
on the boat. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a side effect of the brainwashing.
Yeah, so they tell you that they really need to get their leader cleaned up and back to their covenstead. Well, actually, back to their congregation, they say, where she can heal.
Where are they from?
They are House of the Ram,
That makes sense.
and they seem enamored by Yarrow's horns.
I love good horns. Well, I think maybe I can use that opportunity since they are a little enamored by my horns and kind of maybe a little affinity to maybe apologize a little. Like, we didn't realize what was going on, and let's try to make it right. I just walked into this as well, and we would like to try to get these kids to the correct parents. Let's figure out a way to make this right.
But I should think if anyone's going to make things right, there's going to be amends paid for the violence, the wanton violence at the hands of these witches.
Get over your wine
So-
already.
Ungrateful after we rescued their children,
Yeah,
Well,
raised,
that could be a
trained
plan
them.
too. Maybe like bargain a little bit, like, well, you guys also did just barge in instead of trying to talk to us first.
yeah.
You
They say, "Oh, absolutely. We'll take your Squatch back to our congregation, and we'll make sure he gets all patched up as well."
She's not ours.
Oh,
I was more talking money, but faith fruit and such, but we could trade for the Sasquatch. Problem is, I don't want to give up all these children.
so why don't we set up a meeting after we've had a chance to recover, and we can all have a proper introduction.
We're at though.
What's that?
We're at though.
At our congregation or somewhere nearby. There's a coffee shop nearby.
Oh, the good old coffee shop. I think, yeah, in
The
an
French
effort,
coffee shop.
I think in an effort to like show goodwill, we would kind of meet at their congregation.
Definitely don't want them at our house. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's-
No, they're a bit reckless.
Yeah, I wonder if they're like, no, we'll meet outside because we see how you guys are acting and we're going to destroy our congregation.
Man, it's alright. If it's a congregation, that means they're bound witches anyhow.
True.
Yeah, it is a congregation of bound witches. You are correct.
Pathetic. Well, I don't like the idea, but I suppose it's a sensible course of action.
So your raft of children has been reduced to 12.
No, only a dozen. Whatever will I do with a dozen preteens?
I
Reality
think
show.
we
Kids
should probably
Bop
start
album.
asking them about their parents.
Yeah, who knows? She was abducted for 7 years, so it's possible that some of the younger ones don't have any recollection of their parents.
Those will be the
Okay.
most pliable ones. I'll become their mother in time. Well, with that matter attended to, and the Squatch safely on their way, assuming they're not going to lash out and start punching.
Yeah, the Squatch, you're not sure if she's going to survive those wounds.
Maybe we should just kill her here and then raise her.
You just want a Sasquatch coat, that's all.
Tempting.
Well, she did have beautiful silky fur.
It's true.
It's that gorilla. How exotic.
It reminds me of the Central Park Zoo.
You know, weren't we supposed to be at a zoo? No.
I mean, it might be a good segue. Like, we're not sure how to patch her up or anything, so we have to get some information from somebody from the zoo.
But the zoo's where the order, isn't it? So it's like we're not gonna get help there. They hate us.
That's
They
true.
don't hate witches.
No.
They just don't like unbound witches. I
Yeah.
have to assume the Squatch is bound.
Yeah,
It's a
probably.
good question.
Well, if the order gets her, they will be.
Yeah. I also do want to go sightseeing, though. I haven't been here in a while.
Well, before we go anywhere, since the staff isn't here to stop me,
Nope.
I am going to swipe the caricature of Tallulah Bankhead off the wall.
Redecorate the Covenstead.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yarrow fills her pockets with the curly fries that Seth finished making.
Extra salty
Road,
curly
guys.
Are we taking the remainder of the kids to the museum, or are we?
So I'm sure they'll be happy for a field trip after what just happened.
Yeah, one where they're not performing.
And we have to get them candy. They put on a 6. They deserve the candy.
They get burgers and fries. That's better.
Yeah,
than
they got
candy.
burgers and fries. They're good now.
It's been a while.
Ice cream.
Their ice
It's
cream
gotta be.
machine is broken.
Of course it is.
List
This
in
is
good
McDonald's.
Tartarus
It's
on
a
the
good
ice
time-
cream machine.
Good
Too
time for
real,
one of
too
you to
real.
whip out mending.
Can I mend the ice cream machine?
You may.
How do I roll for that? Is that just
Craft,
Most important
I think.
action tonight.
craft? That's craft. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Am I able to assist?
Tour.
Because now I think that my curly fries would taste wonderful in some ice cream, and
Oh, yes.
I have
Yeah.
a lot of craft.
One willpower.
Assists me in my craft. I have none.
Yeah, if you spend one willpower, that'll give him +1 die. Can't hear you.
All right, I went ahead and took that because
All right.
let's help. Let's get some ice cream, man.
It gives me 1 die.
Oh my god.
Good at ships, not at milk machines or whatever.
You-
A partial success. 4.
okay.
It's only one flavor of ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's vanilla. Please.
The
Yes.
chocolate side
I roll a
stays
d6 to
stopped
figure
up.
out what flavor it is.
There's washing detergent in the chocolate side,
Oh,
but the
well.
vanilla side is working.
No, I like vanilla anyways. It's a very neutral flavor. You can build
Yes.
on it. It works great
You
with the
could-
fries.
You can do anything you want with it, and it is definitely the best one for salty fries. Well, no. Chocolate caramel would be the best for salty fries.
I don't think this is that fancy of a place.
No.
It took them forever to get that. Well, I'm not going to bring up the wine round at least, but it's like,
yeah, this is peasant food.
don't
yeah,
want to bring up bad memories of the wine, or else she'll start shooting again.
so
I haven't shot anyone yet. I have been incredibly responsible this entire evening.
So Yarrow is like starts getting like little cones for the kids just because she thinks they deserve a little bit of ice cream real quick.
Nice.
Wait to see the wicked news of robbery, shootout, and all sort. Fix the ice cream machine.
It's also an art theft at this point.
Art theft. What does the ice cream fix balance it out? I don't know.
Not even the Sardi's is safe, guys. Not even the Sardi's.
Hard our witch world is. Sardi's ain't even safe.
So let's see, what's all I have only I don't have any harm right now. So what is our status of everybody right now?
I think we're all peachy keen right now.
Should we head to the zoo since it's not that relatively far and at least get a survey started?
Out the zoo.
So the zoo is about half the distance as the MoMA. The MoMA is about twice as far, but neither of those things are particularly far considering the subway. But yeah, you hear sirens now that everything is calming down. They're probably heading your way.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably get out of here before they show up.
Yes. We must abscond.
All right. You end up walking in the same direction as the 3 House of the Ram witches, and you see them.
Yeah.
What's that?
We said our goodbyes. It was a very clear moment of parting, and now we're walking in the same direction. It is the most awkward thing possible.
Yeah. Luckily, they turn off and head toward a black church.
Ooh.
They are very goth. I like them.
It's a Gothic style cathedral church,
Ooh.
and the entire thing has been painted black. There are mostly red stained glass windows all around the outside of the church,
damn.
and you can see there are it's pictorializing the fall of Satan and Satan's reign on Earth.
Beautiful.
Satan.
So
The color
Yep.
scheme is very Louis Vuitton.
the funny thing is, when you see them walk inside the church, the door opens from the left instead of the right,
Of course it does.
Satan.
and they are greeted by the biggest satyr you've ever seen. He's nearly 8 feet tall, and his any of his skin that doesn't have fur on it is bright red. And he bows to them and ushers them inside.
Well, he
Yarrow
sounds cool.
is stunned. She is very stunned by this beautiful specimen of a satyr.
Right.
She's feeling things she's never felt before.
When we go to meet them, you definitely need to go as Jesus, Seth.
I'm sure they'll love that.
Yeah.
Specifically the Hugh McGregor one again.
Yeah.
Or you could go as your
We
little
love you, McGregor.
ram.
We don't even care that you're Jesus. Great job. All right. Yep. So, which are you headed to? And you're taking the Squatch with you?
No.
No.
I thought she was going with them to get medical
Yeah.
treatment.
Okay, that's true. Yes, you're right.
Are the kids gonna pick whether they want animals or museum?
They already got ice cream. They don't get any more choices.
The question is, though, with this big red giant satyr, is that Lucifer himself? Like,
Unlikely, considering he bowed to them.
yeah. He.
He's just the mascot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he the mascot, the doorman? Just the doorman.
He's actually just a shifter who's in constant Satan cosplay.
He's the model for all the stained glass.
Yep, definitely something for when you guys meet them in person. A little hint of what you'll find. So,
Well, should I'm trying to see if I should maybe roll a focus roll to see if I can stay focused on us going to the zoo, or if I just get completely distracted by this giant.
oh, you could let your stick decide.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh, that's true. The fun rod. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that. And I want to do 2 ticks this time.
Okay.
Because I'm just like, I am very interested. Like, say, horns, anything with horns, and that was a big, beautiful satyr.
I'm gonna roll it myself. All right. Okay. You are feeling an equally large tug from both places, and they're both substantial.
Ooh, oh, well. I don't know if we
Every
should.
good evening starts with a substantial tug.
So I think at this point, I'm like, I just kind of nervously look at everybody else, like, what do you want to do? It's like, I kind of obviously just want to go check out the satyr, but like, you can tell that I'm just a little smitten, so you can't really trust my.
Jason just goes like, want to like split up or something? You go with clearly your heart wants to go to, and we can go and actually do the things.
You
Well,
guys go ahead. I have to tie my shoes. Doesn't wear shoes.
Yeah, it's like I will begrudgingly go to the zoo, but I will do it with my head hung.
Hey, well, you can always come back later.
That is
Yes.
We have a
true.
date to come back.
Ideally, without the children.
Yeah.
Mm. Good
All
point.
right. I'm just sad the rest of the time. Just kind of pouty, like ugh, whatever.
Yeah.
Taking 12 children to the zoo is a pretty good cover.
Yeah. All right. We're going to take another quick break, and then I will come back, and we will have the proper name and title in our stream. I was just alerted that it still says 10 candles from Saturday.
Oh no!
So it doesn't seem to have tricked
no
anyone.
candles here.
There,
Yeah,
Love
they
so
all-
much they stayed
decent
regardless of.
They all figured out it was Children of Midnight.
well, there are demons around apparently. There's a
That's
demon-
true. I'm sure if you went inside their church, there would be more than 10 candles.
More than 10.
All right, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. See you soon. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're on, as Josh pointed out, the last and fourth leg. There are lots of
Yeah.
legs.
The bewitching
We are-
leg.
Like
we
a
are on the
dog.
last one. So are you taking the subway?
Yeah, I guess so. That'd be fun.
Am I able to leave Jean here at the church to just do some recon while we're traveling?
Sure. Yeah,
Wait,
there.
Subway's electric. Are we all gonna have a bad time?
No, we're not operating it.
Maybe the lights just flicker the whole time.
Just a
Our
little
car is
spin
dark.
like boots to like walk into the station. We get stuck on the.
Most of the devices are old enough that they're fully mechanical. So, yeah, as long as you're not operating it and you're jumping the turnstiles, then you're probably okay.
I'm going to walk, even if I'm a little bit slower than everyone else, and I bump into trouble on the way there because I can't think of anything more disgusting than getting on the subway.
You could
Yarrow
take a bus.
Yeah,
Ugh.
no better.
Yarrow
Yeah.
does a
Cheer.
little flip floppy hop over the turnstile.
So
Like,
yeah,
cheer.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, continue. I was gonna say, oh, cheer up, Elise. At least it's not the. You know what? Let's not bring up the wine again.
If I have the
Um,
wine, the subway might be tolerable.
So Jean finds a place atop the church to nestle amongst the black gargoyles that are up there,
Oh.
and
I make sure to tell her,
Let's do
stay
stay
down
back.
at an ember or a coal.
Either way, a phoenix on the top of a black cathedral. Very aesthetic.
This whole place is very aesthetic.
All right. Okay. Who is going on foot and who is going via subway, or do you all want to stick
Go on
together?
the subway. I'll get on the bloody subway,
Yeah.
but I'm going to smoke in the car with children in there and all the other pedestrians as well.
Okay. Things don't go as badly for you as you are worried. You do have, a lot of people staring. Who's got the biggest familiar of the rest of you? Probably the dog.
Yeah.
And
People love
that's not going to
dogs.
really get that many weird looks.
But it's New York. There's a
Um,
guy with a snake, like two cars
Right,
down.
exactly. So I think the dog does get a weird look from someone. And at first you're like, this could be a service animal. What are you doing? And then you realize that you recognize the person and you think they might also be a witch. Do you have anybody in your past, ally or rival, that might know you and your dog?
Don't really. I mean, considering that Jason has been avoiding the law for a very long time, he could have people he just doesn't know.
Yeah. So yeah, let's say you notice this guy and he's paying a lot of attention to the dog, and but it's no big deal until the train takes kind of a wild turn, and his backpack slips off the chair, and you see a red armband fall out of his backpack, which would mark him as Ever-Vigilant I member.
I guess I'm gonna try and keep my composure a bit. Look for any. I mean, because it's weird if you react to someone staring on you at the subway, because then you've initiated the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend not to, and then look around for vantage points. Or something.
Yeah, he seems to be doing the same thing. He's definitely trying to not engage you or the dog at all. But he has made it very apparent that he notices and maybe recognizes either you or the dog. Are you putting any of this information out into the telepathic network?
Probably better to just do that just in case.
Okay.
He doesn't know it because he wouldn't be able to like patch into the feed that we have, so it's better to do that and pretend like I'm alone.
Yarrow tries to make herself look bigger with her horns.
Hold your breath so your face turns red, but it just turns blue. I'm anti-Satan. Dang. Yeah, so you all hear possible Ever-Vigilant Eye member on board taking an interest in Jason's dog.
How many other non-party members are in this car?
It's let's say it's about 11:30 now. There are probably like maybe 8 other people on the car with you, so 7 and this Red Watch guy. I mean, not Red Watch, sorry. Ever-Vigilant Eye. They're like the lower tier version of the Red Watch.
And none of the other people have the armbands?
Well, this guy
That
wasn't
we can
even wearing
see.
his, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was in his backpack, so there could be others that we just
That's
don't
what
know.
I'm worried about.
Am I able to modify the rod to sense if there's more of them around, or like use that in that sense to?
Oh, I think so. It would work especially well if you got something from him, like that armband.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying.
Get the
Who
children
be
do
the
a tap dance again.
Or one of the kids could go up and act like they're begging, and then the other one can go snatch the armband.
Excuse me, sir. Oh.
Please, sir.
Can you spare a red band?
Because I think I'm noticeable enough. I don't think I could sneak the band from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, the kid thing works. If we want to just do the kids again, this is the whole reason we have them.
Yeah. And I won't even give you a penalty for only having 12 instead of 13.
We got reduced from the baker's dozen.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's a good idea.
I do too.
I asked Elise, Elise, is it okay if we use a couple of the children? They are your children.
Train them for something. Might as well use them for it. Although, I suppose it makes sense. I was going to say we could just kill the man.
I
There's
mean, we're
8
on
other
the
people.
subway, though. I
You can
don't
kill
think
them
killing a
children.
man on the subway is a good idea.
It's only a little noticeable.
The
Not
craziest
that
thing that's
subtle.
happened on the subway.
This is New York, not Florida.
Depends on what line, darling.
Well, we were just
Alright.
coming from Broadway, so
I think, yes, we're in the center of Manhattan, so
Yeah.
probably not the best idea to start killing people on the train.
Anything
Yeah,
like when I was in Chicago, it's not a good idea to be in the loop and then do a crime.
So I kind of like glance down at the kids, and I just kind of like whisper behind my hand a little, like my little plan. It's like, hey, one of you go over there and either fall into him or distract him, and then the other one grab that for me, okay? I'll
Alright,
give you
Just send the
curly
whole group and have them tap
I'll
dance,
give you-
darling.
Yeah.
do it. Sorry, repeat that.
Dance.
So we could just send the whole group and have them tap dance.
That's true. If you guys do
They could
that,
even kick the band away with their tap dancing feet.
yeah.
Hmm.
See, this is why you were the trainer. I tell them all, it's like, hey, if you guys do a little tap dance routine, I'll give you each a curly fry.
Let's
Whole
just stuff a
soggy
bunch
curly
in the
fry.
bag.
Salt headaches alone from those curly fries.
They're children, they can handle it.
Alright, so that would be a 2-die fortune roll to see how well they do.
Shall I do it? Or
I
shall
think
Yarrow do it because it's their
Wrong one.
plan?
I was in the wrong chat. There we go. Mixed result, 5.
Okay. So, yeah, I think it's slow going, because it takes a while. He's not distractible at first, but then as things go on, he sort of gets into the performance and becomes a little bit more distractible. And yeah, eventually that band gets kicked back to you.
Yeah, I mean, they're too good. They just came from
Yeah.
a show on Broadway.
Literally on Broadway, not even in a theater.
On So yeah, so basically I pick up the band and I kind of hide it in my hand while holding the rod
Mm-hmm.
so it can touch the rod. And I would say let's go ahead and use the rest of the clock on the rod because this seems kind of important. I do want the most information.
All 3 ticks?
Yeah, I want
Okay.
I want the most information from this because I don't. This seems like it might get risky.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are nearly overwhelmed with the level of detail that you get with where the Ever-Vigilant Eye are stationed. But luckily, most of the pings that you get in your mind through the rod are from above ground. Down here, you get 3, but the other 2 are pretty distant. They're at least several cars away.
Okay, so this
So
was
he's
for sure.
effectively alone.
So definite happenstance then.
Yep.
Well, lucky vigilant, I guess, that so happened to notice somebody like this while on a train. So
I
I'm
would say the
wondering.
opposite, darling. He's a big
Well,
target.
lucky for them. Yeah, that's true.
I'm not going to let him walk away alive.
All right. So, is this a plan
Rat.
to? Is this This sounds like it might be a quick undertaking to take this guy out in a covert manner.
Yes, we didn't want to be loud.
Unless Elise just does physical takeover and makes him walk off the next stop.
That's true. Or not mind the gap when the next train comes by.
Yeah.
Possess him with the spirit of war and just make him fight till he passes out.
Okay. Yeah. How do you want to handle it?
Good idea. A physical
Lean forward a little
takeover.
bit.
That might be a good idea. A physical takeover. I can just slump into the subway seat beside him.
You're a Median, so you'd have the best chance.
Very ostentatiously dressed woman asleep on the subway. All right. I will attempt to do so. I shall just casually move myself into the seat next to him
Okay.
and reach out my gloved hand to grip him by the back of the neck
Okay.
and hopefully invade his mind.
Sounds good.
Yarrow goes to stand in front of them to hold the little overhead thing just to kind of try to conceal.
It's a complete success.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I wasn't gonna have you roll to get over to him since you're a Median. You fit in well enough that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I'm not
doesn't-
sure I fit on the subway.
Yeah, that's true. So yep, you have him completely, and when the car comes to a stop, he's awaiting your command. Well, not your command. He's literally you. Yeah.
I walk him alone out of the subway. And then after the subway train leaves, and while we're driving off to the next stop, I wait till the next train comes and have him jump in front.
All right.
Problem solved.
Yep.
I don't normally like to kill mortals, but, I mean, this one's a rat out there to undo us.
Yeah. All
Can't
right.
have loose ends like that about.
Who's carrying Elise's body through that?
Since
Well, I
I'm
assume in the car seat, right? Like sitting
Yeah,
in the
but
seat
you
and
all
then
needed
dive.
to get off at the next stop too, so.
Seth can carry her, at least. Seth's still in
Just
some tailcoat, so.
Do you want to shapeshift for that? Or just do it as a fish?
I'll just still be a dashing fish gentleman in tailcoats carrying this beautiful passed out woman.
Just shift some long hair and a billowing poet shirt.
Impersonation. All right. Okay. Yeah, so was this stop to get you close to MoMA or the zoo? Or, well, Central Park. Central Park North.
The zoo was closer, yes?
Yeah.
And we've used up the wand at this point, so the museum trip's kind of a bust.
Yeah, to a certain point, although dealing with Tina might be helpful for getting information. And
Yeah,
you know the back door to get in to talk to her.
That's true.
because the rod we can maybe recharge once we figure out what's going on and then head back to Coven.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to hand the Seal of Solomon back to Seth now that it's been... Okay.
Yeah.
Seth, you good with that?
Yep, back in its pockets is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I slide it in Seth's pocket since they're holding Elise.
Okay.
Assume now I'm awake after
Yeah.
after a little while. I wake back up and then I smack at the fish up and down. And then I try to dust myself off as if I'm covered in slime.
Luckily, Seth is pretty dry because of the fryer that they were manning
goodness.
earlier.
No fishy goop.
Yeah.
I'm imagining
Weird.
Seth with the little chef hat thing that they wear.
Aw.
I didn't take the little paper cap off.
Yes, you still got that hat.
So they wouldn't be slimy, but they would smell like grease.
True.
Which, yeah.
Is that an
But I
upgrade?
smell like fried fish, though.
Mm.
Grease and fish smell.
It's a side grade. All right.
Like a whole Long John Silver's.
Now you got me wanting some Captain D's now.
Oh yeah.
So Elise, do you want to?
Tacos.
Does Elise want to handle the Tina situation and everyone else the zoo, or?
I could do that, I suppose. We're still telepathically bonded. So.
Yep.
I want to go see the Tina because I want to. I feel
Okay.
like secretly Jason needs to learn from somebody in the group. I don't know who.
Yeah, sounds good. Anybody else?
I'm really interested in the zoo too, so
Okay.
I think
I'm stoked for the zoo.
I would go on the recon.
Steph?
I'm going with Zoo.
Okay. All right. Well, let's you all head on your way to the zoo first, and then the other two of you head north to MoMA. And
Can I leave my familiar with Elise, though?
You
Sure.
don't need to,
Oh, I know,
darling.
yeah, my bad.
the telepathic connection is but it's a hard thing to remember even because we got so used to the familiar
Yeah.
swapping. It is still sometimes useful to have it's basically like you sort of cut off your hand and get to leave it there.
Kind of like.
I don't want your gross frog, anyhow.
We're probably going to be switching to the updated rules soon, which have 30 general abilities instead of 15, and one of them is called familiar riding. It's where you can shift your body into the body of your familiar, then your familiar can go somewhere, and then you can pop back out of your familiar.
It's pretty red.
I
So-
need that.
Yeah, that one's awesome. It's like slow teleportation. So
like there's a frog and you go over it, and then it just uppercut comes out of the frog.
Nice. I love that.
Oh, is
Surprise,
that,
frog.
is that graphics for like the band shirt or like the Sasquatch band we talked about earlier?
Nice. Okay. Steph, can you roll 3 dice? And Jason, roll 2 dice.
Alrighty.
Fortune.
Roll 2 dice for
Yeah.
me.
Exclamation 2F.
2F, okay.
And 3 for Seth.
Mixed results out of 4.
Okay.
Did partial effect 2 ticks.
And a mixed result.
Okay.
Limited partial effect or 2 ticks.
Okay. Well, dang. Did you guys both get 4s?
Yeah, 2,
Yeah.
4, 2.
Okay.
I got 4. I got 4, 3.
Okay. Okay. That's like almost as close as possible because I was using that partially to determine who got to their place first. So you all get to the zoo 42 seconds faster than the other two get to Noma. So do you want to send out familiars or
My familiar's on
Yeah.
recon, and so I'm
Busy.
just kind of here to make sure that while they're doing their thing, I'm kind of here if just in case I need to jump in.
Okay.
We can't just go into the zoo.
Yeah, you can absolutely break into the zoo after hours if you'd like.
Maybe we can sneak through the ram enclosure, and they just think I'm one of them, so they let us in.
They're like, you're a bad ram.
Aran can fly.
Yeah.
And Seth, you can shapeshift your familiar, right?
Yes. Yep, I can do that. So we can do like another owl, and then they can scout out together.
Aw. And Yarrow can see through their eyes because you're all telepathically connected.
It's like VR.
What do you want to use for that? Survey? Study?
Let me see what I got. I can never remember.
This beats a drone any day.
Not that we could use those if we wanted to.
Survey. I could do a survey.
I could do survey too, but I think I want to use 2 willpower to bump it.
Okay.
So I only have 1.
So it's a group action. Who's leading?
I have oodles of willpower, so I can lead this one if
Okay.
you want.
I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, halfway full.
This is going to be controlled.
Okay.
Interesting. Success, reduced the effect, spend no willpower. 6.
Nice.
I have a 3.
Okay. So that's going to cost you 2 willpower. But we get to take the result of a 6. So you get to ask 3
shoot,
questions.
I did a resistance roll.
That's okay.
It's still a 6.
It's
Sorry.
a 6 is a 6. So you all get to ask 3 questions from a survey.
I guess just kind of like the layout, like
Okay.
where things are.
Layout, maybe the
Apparent
best entry
guard.
point.
Yeah, so you get a really good idea of sort of the layout, the overall map, sort of where things are. What were the other questions?
Oh, we heard that roar from last session. Some crazy noise coming out of here. Maybe we can see if like Aran or Ribbert hear anything.
Yeah, I'll give that to you as your other 2 because it's kind of you have to wait around but you have a good idea of where you heard it before, so you kind of congregate around that area and listen for it, and you're able to pinpoint it fairly accurately. It's not coming from the surface; it's coming from underground.
They're breeding dinosaurs.
Probably.
Jurassic Central Park.
I love that.
That
Nice.
new Jurassic World movie that's coming out.
They're making
All right,
another one?
and
Yeah,
Elise
they're
and
making
Jason?
another one where they have like a preview of it now, where I think they actually get off the island and come to America.
Oh wow!
And also,
So
side
Elise,
note, can one of the familiars just like grab us a map real quick
Oh,
on
yeah,
their
just
on their way back?
pull out a pamphlet.
you all got a perfect sort of mental snapshot of the overhead view of the place, but yeah, you can get a map easily. They're even at the front where your characters are probably hanging out.
Useful. Maybe we can figure out where the underground area is from that.
Yeah.
It is not on the map. There is apparently nothing that is supposed to be underground here.
No marked secret underground lab on the map.
What?
I just see if there was like
What?
the most obvious place for like a secret entrance.
So you do see a fountain, a giant fountain that's near the center. So that might be, there's probably some underground stuff there because they had to plumb it in somehow. So
Yeah.
that might be a location to check out later. So we'll cut to Elise and Jason, and you are checking on Tina. You also rolled a medium result. So you find that back entrance that led you into her special hidden security office. And you come to that back door, and it is locked as expected, but the key that you told her to leave out there for you is exactly where it's supposed to be.
For once, she's being a good girl.
Only
So
once?
you let yourselves in, and you find this, long back hallway that leads up to her office. Yeah, you know that her bookcases, move out of the way, so that you can go into her office from this back direction. So you're just gonna make your way up there, or
Yes, and I am not going to be secretive about it. Let her quiver in fear as she hears the click of my heels down the hall. Very distinctive smell of my cigarette.
and
What's in that
Jason?
cigarette, by the way?
And Jason, anything?
I don't think he's gonna try and do anything too flashy. He's here to just figure out and study. He's not. He's gained notoriety from people, but not by being powerful. More than just getting into shit.
Yeah. So, all right. You two come to that back entrance, and you press the button that opens the secret door, and you see that her office is empty, and all the lights are off.
Usually do this.
Usually she's here in the evening.
Mm-hmm. She practically lives here like a school teacher.
Think anyone else would know about her?
Well, she worked here legally. I
The
assume
rest
many
of
people.
security.
Does the office look obviously ransacked, or is it just quiet?
It's pretty quiet. You do notice something. She might be sitting at her chair. It's turned away from you, but she could be in it in the dark.
Can I? Because we can't see through our familiars. Can we see through our familiars' eyes?
Yes.
You can see through your familiars.
I'm gonna give. I mean, Elise is probably smarter than me at this point, but I'm just gonna be like, let me try something. I'm gonna send TJ around to the other side.
Yeah.
Just to see, maybe there's a booby trap in the chair, or worst case scenario, she might be dead or asleep.
Or if she's just a dog person.
So is that a prowl?
That would
Or
be
maybe
wait, what? Let's to survey.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's controlled and standard effect.
The rolls be with me. Ah, they weren't. It's a failure at 3.
Okay. As soon as the dog JT, is that his name?
DJ, whichever.
Okay. As soon as he comes around the corner, he can see there's definitely somebody in the chair, and he comes up close, and a body, something shaped like a person, jumps out from the chair onto the dog, and immediately has him enwrapped. And you see from around the corner, just enough time to react, that this body is oozing yellowish green liquid onto your dog's back as smoke rises from its head, black smoke. And we'll stop there for the day.
What a cliffhanger.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not the
I
puppy.
Not the pup.
My boy.
But you take no harm, no worries.
Yet.
That'll
That's
be
a
next
harm.
time.
Just gross.
Yeah.
Shit, nasty.
The position is not risky or desperate, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Which is worse, really.
Can be. Alright.
At least risky or desperate, you can get experience.
True. Alright. The dice bot really does not like you, Josh.
Oh, it doesn't like my dog. It hates.
Oh,
It's personal to me. It just hates TJ for no reason.
Aw.
I spot is a cat person.
That's true. The dice bot rolled really well for Vespertine's Panther.
Mm.
Be a
You
cat
guys bot.
Yeah.
Guy spot's getting its own lore.
I need to do like 1,000 rolls test and see if it actually is like weighted in any way. It's always rolled really well for me, but it's so hit or miss.
Yeah.
But that's dice. All
It's
right.
the most realistic interpretation of dice.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the end of session 12 of Nightsky Sanctum, and we will return next week for some more shenanigans. It looks like it might be there might be museum shenanigans to get into
Again.
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 Yep. All right. Well, anything anybody would like to say before we sign off? Let's go opposite order. We'll start with Josh.
All right. Be kind to each other. Take mental health seriously. I have nothing to promote. It's just those things.
Don't jump in front of a subway train.
Don't, even if you're
Do not
possessed
do that.
by the urge.
Yes. Unless a witch gets into your mind and forces you to do so against your will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not suicide, then it's murder.
Oh yes, it was murder.
All right, Anya.
Yeah. Check out our Patreon. Check out our shop that we have now with merch for Nightsky Sanctum. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Did we do anything else new?
Nope. Yeah, we've got new merch. We have some exclusive merch just for our subscribers. That is specific to our iteration of Nightsky Sanctum. So there's going to be some Nightsky Sanctum merch that is up there for everybody. That's for the sort of games Nightsky Sanctum, and then we have our version of Nightsky Sanctum that we're playing that is definitely far removed from the way it's written up. awesome.
I want like an Elise
It's
cigarette.
personalized.
The main difference is the pentagram points down in our case, and the pentagram points up in the other case.
We might have corrupted the purpose of this whole thing a little. But what's the purpose in collecting artifacts if we don't use them for evil?
We use them.
I like to consider chaotic neutral.
Yeah. All right, Morningstar.
Well, I don't have too much to promote, but we did just post some lovely propaganda posts
Oh my god.
from this game,
Yeah.
where I am serving as the face of the narcissistic entity who is trying to keep all the other witches down. So you can check that out at my Instagram or Twitter, both of which are _Scythian, or my Facebook, which is just the Scythian.
Lilith?
I have an Instagram, Megs Benedict, but you can see all my content. I'm Morningstar's editor. So all the links that they said, go right there.
They're the brilliance. I'm just the beauty.
All right, Azalwood.
Yes, I'm Azalin. Thank you for coming. Also, I'm pretty much anywhere under Azalin, and if not Azalin, then Azalin Art. Especially TikTok. We're growing some fun stuff over there. Pretty much just a bunch of art and shenanigans that I'm up to. Lots of creative things. So that's always worth giving a peep at. And then I'm here on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Awesome. And we will have a new coven on Thursday. So Thursday here on this channel at the same time that we usually play our games on Tuesdays, the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee will be starting up their session. They are playing a completely unique coven, not one from any of the books. And they will be playing the same game, but from a very different vantage point. So we're really excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm super stoked.
Comprehensible is the GM, and he is fantastic. He play tested the full game for us several months ago, so he knows the game better than most people. So we're really, really excited for that, and the whole group looks awesome. So, yep, we can't wait. We'll be tuning in this Thursday for the first hour, and then we'll be playing our own game of Argent Storm Coven on Thursday at 8 on the Hacked in the Dark channel. So don't go watch that. Stay here and watch ours. But you can catch the VOD of ours, our Argent Sky game later, because I play Mac on that, and he's the coolest character. So he's a Asterian, so he's a Minotaur. And he has a skunk named Cheese. So we are going to get into some real shenanigans on Thursday. But yeah, Itty Bitty Kitty Committee starting this Thursday as well. So definitely check that out. And thank you all so much for your help in chat. And just reading back through all of the chat later is how I will spend some of my spare time. I'm very excited for that. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh.